Today, we visit the website of the Office of Energy and Climate Change of the New South Wales Government, taking a look at the scope of the New South Wales statewide net zero by 2050 target. Net zero emissions are achieved when human-caused emissions of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere are balanced by their removals over a specified period. New South Wales net emissions for the purposes of the 2050 New South Wales net zero emissions target are calculated by determining the amount of direct greenhouse gas emissions attributable to the New South Wales in line with the Australian National Greenhouse Accounts. This includes any human-caused removals of greenhouse gas emissions from the atmosphere due to activities within New South Wales. To achieve net zero, New South Wales net emissions are required to be zero or negative by 2050 and for each subsequent reporting period. When we track progress towards our 2050 net zero targets, we are tracking the state's direct emissions. These direct emissions are calculated in line with the Australian National Greenhouse Accounts. These accounts are prepared by the Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment and Water. They are based on United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, reporting and accounting rules and are aligned with Paris Agreement requirements. As the national greenhouse accounts do not include emissions from international shipping and aviation in the reporting of Australia's emissions, these emissions are not included in the calculation of New South Wales direct emissions. The state's net emissions for the purposes of the 2050 target do not include indirect emissions. Global warming potential metric. New South Wales emissions are calculated using the 100-year time horizon global warming potentials relative to CO2. This is the calculation that the Commonwealth Government uses, and it is in line with the Australia's reporting requirements under the Paris Agreement. Greenhouse gases covered by the net zero emission by 2050 target. New South Wales emissions are calculated in line with Australia's reporting through the National Greenhouse Gas Inventory. They cover sources of greenhouse gas emissions and removals resulting from human-made activities for the major greenhouse gases: CO2, CH4, N2O, PFCs, HFCs, SF6. In line with the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's IPCC guidelines for national inventory reporting, IPCC 2006, IPCC 2019, Australia's and New South Wales emissions of the greenhouse gas nitrogen trifluoride NF3 are considered minor. Because of this, they are not estimated and are not included as part of the New South Wales net zero emissions by 2050 target. Emissions from all sectors of the economy are covered by the New South Wales net zero emissions by 2050 target, in line with the National Greenhouse Accounts.